G'day footy fans and welcome to AFL Insight. A few months back, I published my first video on YouTube. However, this was not my first attempt at uploading a video. In August of 2022, I was watching the epic round 23 encounter between Carlton and Collingwood when this piece of play unfolded.
Latches onto him, Pendlebury. McCreary. Wowee!
Now, whilst McCreary's goal was sublime, it was the creativity and awareness of Scott Pendlebury that really caught my eye. I was confounded that the commentary never really gave Pendlebury the due credit he deserved for masterfully constructing the shot at goal. Now, don't get me wrong, McCreary's finish was every bit as exceptional as Pendlebury's setup was. The difference being that if Pendlebury does not process the action unfolding and react in the precise manner that he does, then McCreary does not even get the shot at goal. At first, I contemplated creating a short of this play, but thought I'd rewatch the entirety of the final quarter and focus my attention squarely on Pendlebury and every action and reaction that he had during that 30-minute stretch of pulsating football. I wanted to see if the genius he displayed in being the architect of McCreary's goal was as prevalent throughout the quarter, and what I witnessed left me awestruck. It inspired me to create a video highlighting just how much control Pendlebury had in orchestrating Collingwood's 4-goal comeback. I focused on his mastery of space. I pointed out his defensive awareness. I highlighted how his constant direction to his teammates and misdirection to his opponents created opportunity after opportunity for his team. Pendlebury's fingerprints were all over the Magpies' victory, and I was left contemplating whether Scott Pendlebury had the highest football IQ of all time, which is what I named the video. Now, call me stupid, call me naive, call me ridiculously unaware, but I was truly and honestly staggered when the video got blocked for copyright infringement. I could understand if I had replayed the entire last quarter, but I had only cut small snippets of Pendlebury's play and used some slow motion effects on them to illustrate his craft. I mean, I had watched full matches on YouTube, and there were plenty of highlight packages available. I was perplexed at what the difference might be. I decided to email multiple departments within the AFL to get an answer as to why they would have an issue with one of their greatest ever players being highlighted for his unparalleled genius. I mean, nobody in the commentary team had highlighted what I was witnessing. Fox, 9 and 7, through their various programming, were not focusing on him in the immediate aftermath of the game, nor in the week following. I mean, I'm not even a Collingwood supporter, but I am a supporter of the sport. And I just felt that Pendlebury's play needed a platform. It needed the recognition that it and he so richly deserve. I did not, and still have not received a reply from the AFL. Now, I was disheartened, but not defeated. I then emailed various media outlets and personalities within those organisations, and once again outlined my intentions. Crickets. I then did some research into the channels across a number of different social media platforms that had been allowed to get away with showing highlights and full games, and discovered that they too had been subject to copyright issues at the start of 2023. The AFL had effectively shut down any unauthorised use of their footage and had complete power and control over the game and how it was viewed. This time, I was vanquished. I gave up. I contemplated doing what a few others have and discussed the game and any insights I had without footage, but it's just not the style of content that I like. No disrespect to those guys, I admire their persistence in what they do, but it's just not for me. I consume a lot of NBA content, and it's the channels that use footage that I subscribe to and watch consistently. I like that visual representation of what they are describing and analysing. Even LeBron James and JJ Redick recently started a podcast, and it is fascinating. But without the footage to explain the actions that they are talking about, the average fan like me would be completely lost. So it got me thinking, how and why does the NBA allow its footage to be open slather? An AFL game that finishes at 4 PM on a Saturday won't have its highlights up on the official AFL YouTube channel until the next morning. Now, an NBA game that finishes at the same time on a Saturday will have full game highlights available on multiple channels within 10 minutes. In fact, you can watch highlights of the first quarter of a game as the second quarter is unfolding. The starkness in contrast of the accessibility for fans between the two organisations could not be wider apart. So I did some research and found this quote from NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. "We're incredibly protective of our live game rights, but for the most part, highlights are marketing." This quote came from a Sports Illustrated article published in February of 2016. Just a few years later, in May of 2018, Silver elaborated further. "We promote the posting of our highlights. The highlights are identified through YouTube software, and when ads are sold against them, we share in the revenue. We analogize our strategy to snacks versus meals. If we provide those snacks to our fans on a free basis, they're still going to want to eat meals, which are our games. There is no substitute for the live game experience. We believe that greater fan engagement through social media helps drive television ratings." Jesus Christ, how bloody refreshing is it to hear that? Some actual vision and foresight from the leader of a thriving and ever-growing organisation. Silver realises that if everybody eats, then everybody is happy. The average punter like me gets an abundance of choice and is able to select the content that best suits their needs. The content creator gets rewarded for his creative flair and style through monetization, and the NBA doesn't need to lift a finger, yet they share in the ad revenue and gain free marketing for their product. Stand up and take note, AFL. This is how you grow your game. This is what being a true visionary looks like. So I decided to have another crack this season and went a different route, shining a spotlight on varying issues, and initially took aim at Champion Data and their player rating system, which you can watch here. The majority of the video was cut from podcasts and different clips of press conferences and radio segments, interspersed with some highlights of Josh Dunkley. Once again, I was copyrighted over the match footage. So once again, I wrote to the AFL and Andrew Dillon directly, outlining the NBA information and marketing strategy I had just learned, and once more I received no reply. Now I managed to get around this and use the exact same footage which I sourced from elsewhere on YouTube. It was a pain in the backside to edit, but the video turned out how I had planned. However, it should not have been such a struggle. It is literally just a few minutes of Josh Dunkley laying a few tackles and taking a few marks from a random round 8 game last season. Seriously, what is the big deal? Now, for as long as I can remember, the AFL have bemoaned the fact that our great game has not made an impact on the world stage, that our world-class athletes do not get the global recognition that they so thoroughly deserve. So why not take a different tact and allow us, the fans, the people who love the game more than anyone, promote and market the game for free? The AFL need to relinquish this ridiculous control they have over the game and stop being so short-sighted. It's 2024, for God's sakes. If you don't move with the times, you get left behind. Thanks for watching AFL Insight. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.